Yeah, blessings. Once again, I'm here just to explore the river, just to explore the energy of just, sharing in this unique moment. And also loving the fact that I got myself, a lapel mic, because certain shots away from my fixed camera wouldn't be good, so I love the fact that I can maneuver myself around, right? And that is something beautiful. So I want to say something that has been on my mind for a while. Pardon me. I might have to sit down. Or better yet, I think it's good that I should stand. Now, I kind of have been going up, but I think I should sit because I want to be in a calm state of mind to do this. Yeah. So over the years, right, I have been a very, according to the statement, black conscious individual. From I was a child, hallelujah. It's just something I was initiated into by my ancestors from I was a child, hallelujah. That's just the way it is. So, knowledge of the past things, Aboriginal culture, or so-called black culture, origins of man, ideations of experiences of extraterrestrials, my family, both in the living and the ancestral, brought me into the awareness of this. So as a child growing up, I never had a doubt about who the first people, hallelujah, were upon the plane of terra firma. I never had any doubt. I never believed what Caucasians said. Never did I believe what the white man said, because inside of me I had a true knowledge, hallelujah. And I'm saying that for a reason. That's why I'm sitting down. So I grew up in Jamaica, knowing how our people are about, their consciousness about themselves. So we're given this African idea of who we are. Oh, we're African and we were brought here, so therefore we have no claim to this land. But yet still no African in these so-called African societies don't want us back. But many don't want to talk about that. So that's another thing. But anyway, so we're supposed to be African here in the West. But I noticed that our society didn't like it when you too much behaved like the idea of the African they sold us, which was this enslaved man and woman and child who, to get justice or to get notice, had to be angry, riotous, and burn down plantation, half naked, improperly clothed. We're told that that's Africans, slaves. So when the slaves want to have their attention taken seriously, they want to be taken seriously, they block the streets, we block the streets, we burn tires, we destroy our own properties. But that's how Africans are supposed to be here in the West, Jamaica, Hamaka. So they didn't like it. When you grow locks, they hated it more. More. If you said you're not with this Eurocentrism, they hate you more. They put you aside, and it's a fact. And it's not just the mulatto upper class. Hey, it is also your own class, because they have a shame around anything who African. But here is my point now. So because I grew up this way, and then I look into the big picture around these so-called new nation states, and I see that the Aboriginal, original so-called or miscalled black man and woman in America are going through genocidal homicides every single year, every single day, week, month, and an international community who talks about the rule of law is not speaking about individuals who have been subjugated in their own homeland, who has lost their nationality, their right to their own nation states. There's nobody in the international world talking about it. Just like they weren't talking about it in Zululand, in Azania. Just like they weren't talking about it amongst the Khoi and the San, amongst the Ndebele. They weren't talking about it amongst the so-called South Africans. They're not talking about it now amongst the so-called African American. Misnomer, no true rooting in law. But anyhow, there are these racist organizations who are permitted to continually disenfranchise Aboriginals, man and woman, to miseducate them, to segregate them, to separate them, to divide them, to rule them most bitterly and viciously. Here in 2021, still doing it to the point where any one of them can exercise this power of authority over us, irregardless of the status you've gained in their repressive regime. It's one of the most ungodly regimes on the planet, but no one wants to talk about it. You know why? Materialism and money that's been expropriated from other people's economies, other people's way of life been destroyed to support the American dream, which is not the Aboriginals' dreams, by the way, because that's the Aboriginal nightmare, and I know that. So, and they know that. So the thing is this now. The question is asked now. Okay, are there any organizations, are there organized mindsets who have thought about our problems collectively? Let's say that. Well, you know, there were all these councils in the early turn of the 20th century, you know, these Negro Improvement Association, these Tuskegee who became these Tuskegee Weegee Beegies, these Doobie Boobie Boobies, who have messed up black heritage and culture, trying to literally create a postmodernist sheet, a postmodernist clown face to represent us. Anyway, so these organizations came in. They were auspiciously, represented by black professors and black stalwarts and intellects who had doctorates in all these various fields in the white profit-driven economies of this invader world. And these black so-called, stalwarts or, scholars or whatever from the school, because they're seamen, they are admiralty men of mercantilism, right? These are the woolly boolies, the bully woolies, bullies, right? And then even this is gonna stop me. And so now, with these organizations not really doing anything to improve the conditions of our fellow so-called black or the Aboriginal in the entire Americas, because it goes from Jamaica right to America. They're all interlinked, because guess what? This divide and rule took us from Jamaica and the so-called Caribbean and took us into America. A lot of first-class black Americans are third and second generation Jamaican and Caribbean nationals because we are one children of the Amaru in Yao. So you got this whole organization, that promoted a certain kind of music that was supposed to place us into the modern ethos and lift our identity into, modern acceptance. But all it did really was made us over into the image of a modern puppet, because now we were cooning to be accepted in something that does not respect us, that took us away from, drove us away from our origin, our original nature, exiled us in our own homeland, imprisoned us. But yes, we did lose the wars for that to happen. Hey, it didn't just happen. So when I see now the racist cops, the racist institution, the racist behavior, I say to myself, but what have these organizations done but make a minority class of so-called black, esteemed elder statesmen and women that are far removed from anything that is actual in our daily lives, because they have become our modern capitalists who are expropriating us while telling us we the same, but we don't share the same ideology. We don't. You got something else going on, and it's not aboriginal. It's not original. It does not respect the actuality of who we are. And no, we are not backwards because you're educated. Hallelujah. And you know that. But because you can rock the boat, you're gonna give us what you feel to give us, because it's all I can give you. I got to. So modern movements saying, oh, our lives matter now. So what have they done to enact any kind of actual legislation to show that your lives matter, or that your place within these oppressive regimes matter? Because obviously it don't. But you want to know a secret? The real answer to all of that, and why it took so long, because I had to lay out some foundation, because I could have just said it from I was being a little bit angry before. I could have just said it, but I said, let me lay it out first, then I said it, then I'll say it. Yeah, then I'll say it. So here it is, very clearly. After we do these modern movements, or these movements that are coming from these early movements of so-called African or black unity in the West, after we've done this, we created music and so-called pop culture, but then this pop culture we created was so satanic and demonic. It stopped telling us to improve our state of being. It stopped telling us to build the sense of esteem by taking care of your issues, your responsibility. It stopped telling you how to care for your children. It stopped telling you how to be a good son, a good father, a good mother, a good sister, a good daughter. It stopped telling you about the collective unity we needed. That music, that culture promoted by those same organizations started telling us how to hate each other. Nigga, punk, yo, my brethren, you know my friend, you know me, we know the same. We started separating, creating all manner of devices to tell each other, oh, your version of being black, your version of being what is not the thing, because this is the reality. This is where we're going somewhere. This is where something is happening. This is where something will become something of fact, and it will matter. But all of that was destructive. They led us away from anything that was good. The music stopped being about taking care of the family. It stopped being about being fidelis. It stopped being about being, I would say, honorable to your woman as a man, being honorable to your man as a woman. It started being about selfish, self-ambition, materialism, go get a gain for yourself, tribalism, me in my small corner, you in yours, we not the same, we enemies, peace, no. Yo, so that separation becoming culture, becoming the new edited version of our reality. We're cooning in a different way. And we're copying a disrespectful behavior to anyone who's doing the actual thing. We're more quick to go into demonology, demonic beliefs, before we do what we ought to, what we used to, even during when we were oppressed by our invading enemies that defeated us, imprisoned us, enslaved us. But still, we had morals, we had values, we had virtues, and it was manifest. So, after all the movements, spawning all these rich individual black man and woman, and these middle class, somewhere near class black families, the communities were further destroyed. The value amongst Aboriginals were further ruined, and they looked further away from the communities. Their monies went further, their interests went further, their appearance went further. And so we started losing more, not just based upon what the oppressor was doing, because we, after all our marching, after all our hope for the people, after all our brotherhood and our, panther and all our many different movements, and the Moorish movements and the Moabites and the Hebrew Israelites and the Rastafari, and all these other movements, these black conscious movements, after all these groupings, here is why the power system is still the same and nothing has changed. Because after all that talk, your enemy, our enemy, recognizes one thing. From their work, they're seeing it manifest in us. They're seeing it. Because after you talk that about the power and unity and standing for the people, you know what happens next? You go back into your small corner, into your class box, your religious box, and you can't see as a unified community. There's no philosophy of unity. You can't even unify amongst the false perception they gave us of skin. The word black, though it is a metaphysical misnomer, because I'm not black, I'm aboriginal, right? My skin tone might be of a dark hue, but my skin tone cannot define who I am, because black in metaphysics is a dead term. It is not alive. It is a term that means what is charred and burnt. I am a melanated being. I am not carbonite. I'm not carbonated. Carbon is burnt, dead. I am melanated. I am burning. I'm alive. Hence, I want to say this. We can, even with all our difference of opinions on Aboriginal, Indigenous, black, so-called black, religion, all of that, we can't unify amongst the fact that we are like this. Whether we have locks or not, whether we're saying Yeshua or we're saying Muhammad, we haven't yet recognized the true love. So we don't treat each other legally with respect and the legal right we deserve. So you want to know what I'm saying? We're not treating each other like humans. Hey, and our enemies know that. We're not treating each other like humans. We're treating each other like some kind of subjective statement we have wrapped up into culture, religion, belief, ways of life. All these things don't matter, because you are still, as I am, carrying this stone from its lightest to the darkest, in all of the cultures, on all of the heritages. Same I am, same I am one. However, many will not accept what I just said, that we do not keep legal harmony amongst our own. We disharmonize ourselves legally. We do not recognize ourselves as humans, and as such we use the philosophies, the ways of thinking of others to actualize our life. And by the time we have done that, we want nothing to do with anything that looks, sounds, acts like us or like we did. Many won't accept it because they say you're religious. I just explain how I think. What does that matter? You're not going to watch my video, right? You're not going to share it with your friends, right? Also, if I was having an event, you're not going to come to it. You're not going to buy my music. But you will buy the music that promotes separatism, hatred and jealousy. You will go to the events that reinforces all of the divide and rule formulas given to us by the invaders. You will do that. You will ostracize me. You would say backward Rasta, dreadlocks, Jamaican, Christian, dunce, wanna be smart, wanna be intellectual, wanna be what? But yet still, when we go out in the communities, I see how we treat each other. I see how our body language relates to each other. I see how we don't deal with each other with the law of equity. But woe when we deal with the masters, I see we go. And when we say we're not bowing to the masters, we use the legalisms here to show ourselves adequate. We deny each other that. We use the totalitarianism for govern our family and our communities. And this totalitarianistic mindset, it rules us. It causes us to act powerful, mighty, more against our own, and act submissive or want to equalize with our enemies. That's a fact. So whether you're Christian, Jew, Baaled, of belief system, Rastafari, any belief, natural, organic, maroon, any thought process, Moorish, Moabite, whatever Canaanite, whatever you call yourself, they all make children of the Amaru. Yeah, all my brothers of the Americas and my sisters. Yeah, all of us that share this collective history. 90% of this plane's history is our history. It's our story rather. 90%. Don't accept 10% unto your demise. 90% unto your well-being. Right? So, you want to stop the abuse of black men, women and children at the hands of Caucasians who are invaders in the West? Harmonize your society. Rebuild your nation state. Not through political statement, not through religious statement, but yet still do not separate people from religious statement or political statement. So you say, well, how can we unify? Well, how have they stayed unified? Are they all under the same beliefs? But yet still they rule one economic power under one belief system of the privilege that their skin tone, Edomite ethnicity have given to them. You check that while you're thinking how to rebut everything I say based upon follower of Christ or locks. Got you? Blessings. Until next time, this has been the Great Owl. Yeah, Jerome Sage Butler according to the mercantile system. Yeah, this is the Great Owl according to the Great Owl. Reasons right here at the Tree of Life. Just reminding us Aborigines, so-called black, in all of terra firma, harmonize from the soul. Start with self-love. Everything that's happening is because you don't love yourself. So you don't love anything that share your ethnicity. And as such, you love through belief systems, through states of mind, through status, labels, titles, place in society. Check it. Love. Remember, you're a gift unto yourself, unto your environment. Continue to be this awesome, celestial, divine gift that you are, that we all are. Love, light, and blessings.